Well, if you like flying and you like photography, aerial photography is just a natural thing to do. So when I accepted my first commission to do some aerial photography for a farmer close to Cape Town to film photograph some of his canola fields of a land that he wanted to use for further property development, it seemed like a no-brainer to me. I still remember he said to me, he can't pay too much because he's still got to pay the chopper as well. So I was very excited. I couldn't sleep the night before. So when I arrived the next day, luckily quite a windstill day, back in Durbanville, I arrived on a farm with a small landing strip, and as the guy opened up his shed, there was a little gyrocopter in the shed. Okay, my heart sank, but anyway, I wanted to make the money, so I decided to do it anyway. Very interesting, my first gyrocopter flight. Got some very nice photographs, and then on the way back, we were connected with microphones and headphones, and the guy said to me, I'll show you my route back home, and it was quite an interesting trip. And then about halfway on the way back, I realized he also had his camera with him, and he was also taking pictures, so quite scary. But anyway, that put me on a nice track to do some more photography. So whenever I got the opportunity to fly with anybody, I'd grab the camera and go with. And you have to figure out what lenses to use, wide angle. Then you get too much of the wing. If it's too zoomed in, then you sometimes don't get enough wide angle. So it was quite tricky. And then you have to battle a bit of air sickness as well when you look through the lens the whole time while you're flying. It's something to juggle. I did some amazing shoots for Pearl Valley Golf Course for Valdevi when they were busy with their early developments, and also did a lot of stuff for property developments. I remember a specific shoot in Paarl where I did some photography, and then I had to superimpose the plans afterwards over the aerial photography, which was quite a nice job to do. Whenever I did some flying, I always try to shoot as much as possible. So you pay for the pilot and the plane, and you pay for the fuel, so you might as well shoot photos of everything. And you always, if you know the farmers on the way to wherever you're shooting, you can get some nice angles on farms and houses and whatever, and you can always use those pictures 2 or 3 years later. Some of the interesting jobs that I did included stuff for the Somerset Mall. I did a lot of stuff for Gordons Bay, for Harbour Island, and for some of the stuff even for the harbour in Gordons Bay. And I've got some very nice shots, and obviously some general shots of just the Strand and the Hartman's Holland area. Flew in Elgin, Grabouw area, did some work for farmers in the area, and also a lot of the Stellenbosch farms, and also the sports grounds in Stellenbosch. The nice thing is I have these photos now, and as things develop and change, the good thing is that you can't retake those photos, so it's a bit of history captured from the air. I just love the angles that you get. These days I think everything has changed with the onset of drones. Drones are now so affordable, the cameras are so good on the drones that basically the way I did aerial photography, it doesn't really make sense to do it that way anymore. So we have a drone at Oldenburg, so I fly a drone and get some nice shots of the farm, and it's just amazing, just 3 or 4 or 5 meters in the air already makes a big perspective difference, and I absolutely love aerial photography. But the stuff that I did 15 years ago has taught me a lot of lessons, and I love it. I mean, I still try and do flying, and whenever I can take the camera with and shoot some stuff. And the last one that I did that was really interesting was a shoot with Bob Skinstad when we did a whiskey tasting at the Grendel winery, and we flew with helicopters, and I managed to make a nice video of the whole trip. So aerial photography will always be something that I really value and treasure, but sadly these days with drones, not too much flying for photography anymore. Stay tuned for the next episode. Cheers.